It's very important, and he needed goals. He had two great chances with the head, two great headers from him one first half, because the reality first half we had two great chances first half, one with Sasha Lukic in the back, in the edge of the box, and after the other of Raúl to start leading the score, and great chance before he come out second half with the header as well. He's a hard worker. He's a guy that always puts everything on the pitch. He always is hard for the team. He's going to fight for the shirt every single moment. Of course, he needs confidence, because the goals will give him the confidence, because we use really the striker to link our game, to be the right guy. But very pleased for him. He, in that moment, he was cold enough to decide in a great penalty.
Thank you, Marco.
Thank you very much.
Well, one of the biggest things you've got to do is handle praise. You know, that's the biggest thing. So he got praised, rightly so, for a very, very big performance last weekend. This weekend, handling that, going again with that fire and that intent. I thought that was lacking. That edge that we showed in abundance wasn't quite there tonight. That killer instinct, that killer edge, and then moments, the big moments that come. And it's a reminder that, you know, if you're not on top of it, the margins are tight and things can go against you.
You're 5 points clear the relegation zone. It's a considerable gap, but is it even more frustrating tonight that you could have opened this gap even more and be in a much more comfortable position, maybe?
Yeah, of course, but that's every game. You know, you want to win as many games as you can. But yeah, it was a good opportunity tonight. We came down there with the right intent in our minds, but to go and deliver it is the key. When the whistle blows, that's when you've got to go and do it. It would have been a good point for us, even on a day like today where we weren't really firing properly. I think we should have got a point, because, you know, we didn't do enough to lose the game, but on the other hand, you've got to go and step on and win it. So that's the frustration tonight.
And finally, what do you do to work on this killer instinct that you mentioned?
Go back to exactly what I started with at the beginning of this evening, and that's consistency. Working hard on the training, on all the basics, all the ugly side of the game that people have to do, and then the quality shows like it did last week, but we've got to do the basics better.
Your penalty, was it all about patience? Patience to wait to take the shot, but also to wait for John to move as well?
Yeah, it's always what I do. I think I do it well. So it's something that I have been training my whole career. So I like to have this pressure in these penalties, and I'm happy to score.
Do you know your record in the Premier League with penalties?
Yeah, I've never missed. I think 12 out of 12, I think.
11 out of 11. Still good.
One more. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. So I want to keep doing like this. If it's more penalties to come, I'll be there.
Apart from the experience, of course, what do you do when you work in these penalties? What extra work do you do in the training pitch and studying goalkeepers as well?
Yeah, during the week, at least once a week, I'm training with the goalkeepers there in the training ground. It's more difficult because they know me, but I'm always doing it right, how I need to do it. So I'm really happy for it.
Before the game, I was talking to Marco Silva about managing your minutes. So how does a 34-year-old striker manages himself so well to play so many minutes like you have been?
Well, it's all in me. I think we need to, well, if I need to play as much as I need to play, I need to be during the week resting well, sleeping well, eating well, so everything goes by the hand. So I need to do every week the same to keep going and playing like this. It's a tough period of a lot of matches. Now in the next couple of weeks we have I think 5 games in 2 weeks, so it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna be there ready for it.
And just opening that gap to 10 points on West Ham and putting 5 between themselves and Nottingham Forest, 4 clear of Leeds United, who I think a lot of the teams are worried about down there. But what's interesting, yes, it is a very busy Christmas period, but this next game for Fulham feels, Jamie, absolutely huge. But 13 points potentially between the two sides, them and West Ham.
It's big for Fulham, but it's absolutely huge for West Ham. Almost feels like a cup final. If Fulham won that, you do the math.
Well, they're 13 points clear of them. But that might mean Fulham home and hose, wouldn't it? 13 points at that stage?
Well, that is a huge gap. I know there's a long way to go, but you know the way Leeds are playing right now, Fulham, I think West Ham, and Nuno's been in there now for a little bit of time, and I thought they'd sort of kick on a little bit the way Forest have, and it hasn't quite happened, and that gap is getting too big for comfort, and I think there'll be a real worry at West Ham right now. And I know they'll look to do business in the January, but before they get to that January transfer window, they've got to cut that gap somehow.
Yeah, of course there are other teams that West Ham can target along the way as well.
And we said before the game, I felt this game would probably be a draw. And in some ways it could have been a draw, really, when you look at a lot of the stats in that game. But in the main, Nottingham Forest have been fantastic since Sean Dyche came in. He completely turned around the season and how it was looking. We looked at all the stats and how he's going about it. He's going about it the Sean Dyche way, as he did at Burnley and Everton, where he had great success at both clubs as well. And he's doing the same so far at Nottingham Forest.
Strikes me that West Ham have got some interesting games, haven't they, in the Christmas period? They've got to play Fulham, they've got to play Nottingham Forest as well. Is there any danger, Jamie? Yes, there has been this upturn in form, not just in the Premier League, but also winning games in Europe as well under Sean Dyche. Is there any danger that gets in the way of what I guess is still a priority of staying in the Premier League?
The priority will be staying in the Premier League, but I still believe the people above him at the club will believe there's far too much quality to be worrying too much about getting involved in a relegation fight, and I agree with that. And I think they'll have aspirations of actually doing well in Europe. And I do believe the English clubs in the Europa League and the Conference League competition in Europe should be looking to win those competitions. Our teams in those positions of the league are a lot more stronger, a lot more finance behind them as well, than other teams have in Europe as well. So I think the club will want a really long run in Europe. So Sean Dyche will have to juggle both acts, I think.